Hey everyone, MLive's Brendan Quinn here, following Michigan Football Media Day, alongside Michigan Football beat writer Nick Baumgartner, and our new recruiting writer, Michigan football writer Matt Wenzel. First time with us on one of these
I believe
videos, right?
This is a big day. You'd hoped for.
This is a big day for everybody.
Looking forward to this for a long
So, an interesting kind of day in terms of it not being anything like last year, and it not being a big to-do about Jim Harbaugh, and it was, compared to last year at this time, it was very much more low-key. Like you just said before we got out here, no huge pressing questions of, got to get answers to this, got to get answers to that. Beyond quarterbacks, this thing's kind of locked in at this point.
Yeah,
going into spring, the fall.
This is, for the first time in a long time, they have so many guys coming back. There really aren't, in terms of just football, all the other bluster and BS aside, when it's just football, the questions aren't really, it's just, a lot of this is you're going to have to see it on the field, right. And that's really the question. So outside of quarterbacks, and that's about it. They don't let us talk to freshmen at this stuff, so a lot of this is guys we talked to last year, year before. So it's probably a good thing for them, I would assume, that there's just not a lot of crazy, like, what are you going to do about this?
Yeah.
How are you going to fix that huge gaping hole? There's not a lot of that going on right now. So, they're starting camp, I would say, probably in a good place, in that they don't have a ton of questions to answer.
The defensive side especially, a lot of confidence in that room, and it seems to be embracing the expectations of being called one of the best defenses in the country, so on and so forth. And that definitely starts with Jabril Peppers and Jordan Lewis, and it kind of seemed to have filtered down amongst the ranks.
Yeah, and again, it's the same deal. They're all back. They only replace two linebackers, Joe Bolden, and three, James Ross, but three guys that really weren't their best players last year. So they don't replace that much. They bring everybody back, and I think that's kind of been their thing since spring. That with the amount of talent they have back, and you add in the fact that Peppers and Lewis are all Americans, that Wormley's an all Big Ten type player, and so on and so forth. A lot of NFL talent on that defense. Their expectation, I think Don Brown said, nobody lowers from high expectations or something. They all understand it. They should be one of the best, and I think that's how they're approaching it, at least.
Well, and one of the other newsworthy things today is the new roster comes out, updated rosters with updated heights and weights. Matt, you went through and looked at the changes from last year. What were the big things that jumped out?
Well, first of all, Brady Palante and Freddie Canteen. Neither of them are on the roster anymore. Both were in the spring, and as Nick was saying earlier, he tried to get an answer on Canteen.
Yeah.
Sorry, during the spring, and Harbaugh was effusive. He never provided an update, but it's not on the roster anymore. So
gets the end of the Freddie Canteen era.
End of the Canteen era and end of the Canteen questions. I got yelled at by Harbaugh once for asking about that too much, but he's gone.
Well, that's always worthwhile. So
shoulder injuries with Freddie. I don't know why Palante's gone. They didn't
I look forward to you asking again, though.
Sure.
Jordan Lewis is up 11 pounds, so he's 186 now, I think.
That was interesting.
Yeah, there were a number of changes, but Lewis is one of the more interesting ones.
And what was the biggest man on the roster?
Michael Onwenu from Cass Tech, the freshman.
Checking in at a robust
6'3", 350, is that right? Yeah, 6'3", 350. So there you go.
Large mammal.
Yeah.
This was your first Michigan Football Media Day.
Correct.
Down here. Any kind of first impressions of being around and kind of getting, we've been in this pool for a while here. This is kind of your first drop in. What were your takeaways?
Honestly, from what Harbaugh had said, it was a lot of the same stuff he's been saying all summer. Yeah. So, and I've been, at least been doing something involved with Michigan football for 4 months now. So, everything he said was pretty much a repeat of something earlier. So there was nothing really noteworthy to take away from what he said today.
And the only way he described the beginning of the season was once again leaning on the birth analogy, and
it's just a little uncomfortable for everyone.
It's really uncomfortable for everyone, but those are his words, not ours. Yeah. So that'll do it for today. For those interested, Nick and I on the podcast tomorrow will go much deeper on guys we talked to, things we learned today, and so be sure to look for that on Monday or Tuesday coming up on the site. And that'll do it for today. For Nick Baumgartner, for Matt Wenzel, I'm Brendan Quinn. Thanks for watching.